So today we were working from our hammer fisting, continuous hammer fisting, against straight punches coming through, and we're set up in our pre-fighting stance like this. Take one step back, and I don't want any trouble. From this position, me going right across the center with a fist, and I'm cutting to the opposite hip. So the punch itself, once I start doing it, I'm going to retract one hand a little bit as the other hand's punching. So this hand's punching at a 45-degree angle, knuckles are going at a 45-degree angle, elbows bent a little bit, but I am reaching forward to hit up higher here as opposed to just hitting the hands. Part of that's dependent on distance of your opponent. But from this position, as one hand comes forward, the other one turns out, so that I now have a palm change when I come in with the next one. So I'm alternating here as I'm coming forward, just like so. This hand can also open, but right now what we're trying to do is we're trying to hammer fist the other person's arms or body, whatever the target is that presents itself. But we're using this as a way to deal with punches coming through the center. Since my hands are set up like this, I'm already encouraging the person to come between my hands, so I'm baiting them into that direction anyway. So I'll just have Alan step in here. So just to go light with this, we put on pads and everything today to go harder with it, but I just get used to working like so. And we can take this in a circle. And notice I'm hammer fisting higher up, and I'm cocking my fist back with each one, just like so. He can come toward me, I can go toward him. And what we're doing also is we're toughening up our forearms and our hands. So we've been doing some iron palm, iron fist, iron forearm training for this too. So the entries that we worked off of this is that I don't want to necessarily stay right in front of him. So when he throws his punch, he comes here, actually feed from the other side, it's easier to see. So I'm looking to get into an angle here. So I may have started in this position, and he feeds that punch, and I'm looking to get in at an angle here. Because what that does is it takes me away from two of his weapons, and it tends to isolate one side of his body. So he throws his punch, and I'm coming here. So throw with that hand first for me, so we'll do like a 1-2 here, okay? So for timing's sake, he's coming 1-2, and I'm looking to get in right here. Now from that position, there's a lot of things that I can do. So here's some of the entries that we worked. So scoot back just a little bit for me here. Okay, so he feeds me the 1-2, 1-2 here. Now from this position, I hit down and across to create space, right? If I just hit light here, I'm not creating a lot of entry room for myself here to hit the head. But if I hit down and across, now I'm creating room to come and do a little bouncing motion right off here into his head. So he feeds me the 1-2 again, 1-2 here, right into the head, and now I've got head control. I can get my knee in there as well. So that's one option, is come in again, 1-2, 1-2, boom, here. I can cover his eyes, I can hammer fist. There's a lot of options from there. Second hand is just set here or up here. Another option, 1-2, coming in here. Now my fist, when I'm doing this motion, is already set like that. So when he punches, and I freeze here, it's already set to come right in there. So it's a really easy entry. Third, he comes in 1-2, and I'm hammer fisting this way, straight in. Again, here, here. I can come up and under here. But this has to be like dead weight. And I have to be crossing the center. If I'm just coming straight down, if I'm facing him straight in front, if he faces me, and you start throwing some punches, if I'm just going here up high, I'm not creating any space. But when I come here, I'm creating space for myself to counterattack, to find an entry. So that's a really important point. Now, comes in again. So off the same sort of thing, I come with an elbow here. Okay, the hand comes up, perfect opportunity for a trap. And I can just continue on in. All right, so again, facing the 1-2. So that side now, boom. Also sets me up for my Twitter Kapala throws. Right? All right, so another option here is if he feeds, go slow for me this time. So you feed with, start with the other hand for me here, right? I step in here. Now instead of having my hand out here, I'm gonna bring it to this side. So again, 1-2, here. And I come right in and create a wedge, a hammer and a hammer. Now when I do this, I'm also creating a blind side for him, meaning that I've got his head angled off so I can be hitting anywhere with his second hand. So I could start here and then go to the kidneys and then come back into the knee, or sweep that leg out and then hammer back in. So these are all entries that you can work just from this, hey, I don't want any trouble position. Hammer fisting, then hammer fisting stepping off to an angle, then using that angle, entry, entry, bouncing with it, entry here, or hammer fisting this way, and then coming back around with more circular strikes. So this is what we covered today. Gives you a lot of versatility with a really simple entry. And if you toughen up your forearms and your hands well enough, these are like battering rams. And remember, when you're hitting somebody hard and it creates pain, that's where their mind's going. So don't expect these punches from the other person unless they're really hopped up on adrenaline or drugs to keep coming in at the same velocity. Chances are that the more they punch at you and the more they get hammered, the less they're going to want to punch, because it's going to elicit a pain response, and their brain can only focus on so many things at a time. So you get that 1-2, and then your third strike might be easier to get in. Not always, but it might be easier to get in. So go ahead and practice that.